G'day, guys, and welcome to Season 5, Episode 21 of the Supercoach Swordplay podcast. You're on with me, Janath. I'm joined by Spillsy and Rossco, but no DR tonight, unfortunately. Just some circumstances that he had to attend to. Spillsy, Rossco, how you guys doing? Had a good weekend?
Yeah, very good, mate. Very good. Headed down to Geelong for the first time, down to GMHBA. Wasn't really expecting much, but
The
it's a
Cauldron.
nice little stadium. Took us ages to get in, which was weird because they didn't even have 30,000 there. But other than that, I can't complain. We played all right and, didn't get the win, but happy to see some of the youngsters coming through. What about you, Spillsy?
Yeah, just had footy on Saturday. I'm not playing probably for the rest of the year. I think this ankle injury is a little bit worse than I thought. It's still pretty nasty about 3 weeks later. So, yeah, go on physio next week to get that sorted. But, yeah, just about nearly the end of the year. I don't really think we're going to do much in finals anyway. So, yeah, still rolling up and, yeah, watching the boys go about it. I ran water and been doing goal umpiring at times as well. So, just staying involved and getting around him. Had a few quiet ones as well on Saturday, which was good with my brother. So, yeah, he's just got a job at a new French restaurant and, yeah, we got around him, went there. He made us some, cheeky cocktails. So, yeah, it was a good night. Pretty good weekend. But, yeah, it's good to be back on the podcast, boys. Looking forward to seeing if either of you two can save me side. Janath, the Matt Kennedy move for leagues, I loved it. Really did like that move in theory, but I think we're going to have to find another way to get rid of Horny Man because he's not worth enough money, mate. But we'll sort that out later. Very keen to
We
get stuck into it.
shall figure that out. Look, good weekend on my end. The Blues won. We bet the D's. Went to the game with Med, our friend, and got the chockies over there. It was a tight game, but no, I enjoyed watching us actually win. And Rossco, I've been telling you for a long time now. Ashton Moyer, certified star boy.
He played very well on the weekend. What did he kick for?
He kicked 4. He can kick on both
Yeah.
both legs as well. Look, in terms of our agenda today, we're going to keep it very brief. Hopefully, no 1 hour, 30-minute podcast today. We don't really have much to talk about, but we will somehow find something to talk about regardless. So the GDS update, as always, our round reviews, injuries, who's sort of catching our eye as sort of the season comes to an end. Rossco, you're going to deep dive into a DBP analysis to look into some trading targets for potentially to the rest of the season. We'll do a 2026 watch list. We're just going to rattle off some names that are sort of players that we may look to start in 2026, our trades, and then the captain's corner. Before we go on to that, $315 has been raised for the Good Friday appeal. We're very proud of the work we're able to do with them. And if you guys are able to, please buy your own beanie, like what Rossco and what Spillsy are wearing, and we'll donate $5 from every beanie to the Good Friday appeal, as always. Speedy Tees, our proud sponsors off the channel, have been just an absolute rock and of support throughout the last couple of years. So if you're looking for any sort of custom shirts, custom anything, Speedy Tees are who to look at. Now, game day squad, Rossco, what's going on, mate? It's been a bit tough sled in the last couple of weeks. Do you just want to talk a little bit about what's happening with game day squad?
Yeah, look, if I could use the code word peanut to get myself maybe another $100 worth of free packs, that'd probably be ideal. No, I'm just not picking the right players at the minute. I took a punt on Gold Cadman against the Bombers on Thursday night. He just didn't play very well. Same with Gold Hewitt against the D's. I thought that matchup there with their midfield would be prime, but he just didn't turn up and didn't play very well. Missed out on picking Nick Dacos, Bailey Dale, Jack Sinclair, who all went pretty big. Although I did get a platinum Nazai Wangani Miller in there for like 240 points, which pushed me to my best finish for the round, 99th in Classic. And then I was well outside the top 200, I think, in the other two formats, which is a bit stinky. But we've got plenty of analysis to do. We'll have some review and preview videos coming out on the channel over the next couple of days as well. And hopefully we can really break it down and identify the right mix of players to pick this week. What about you, mate?
Yeah, look, I can't complain too much. Still 8th in contender. 5 more rounds to go. So getting a bit nervy there, trying to hang on to that top 10 spot or push further into the top 3. Solid rounds all around, top 30 in the 3 comps that I play. But look, every week it's so difficult to pick. Like some weeks you get the right player, but you don't have the right, like you don't have a gold off them. Some weeks you just miss a play altogether. I know that for both of us, we missed Nick Dacos this week and he went gangbusters in his flu game. So can't win them all. But Spillsy, we got to get you onto game day squad next year because I think this is for someone that isn't sort of meeting the Supercoach heights that you'd want. Game day squad every single week, mate. You can win it.
Definitely an understatement, mate, for sure. I think I was talking to DR about it on the phone maybe a week ago, and I was like, look, I really wish that that I put a bit more like effort into getting that sorted at the start of the year, particularly with like how things have
It's still
sort
not
of
too
turned.
late.
So yeah, would
Still
be
not
good.
too late.
It's not too late. Yeah,
It's not too late.
definitely gonna get into it for sure next year. I will start fresh and hopefully reach half the heights Rossco has on it because been killing it, mate. Absolutely kudos to you, dominating.
So if you like Spills and you haven't joined yet, use the code Peanut and you can receive $20 worth of free packs. And something special is going to drop tomorrow for those soccer/football lovers out there. Stay tuned. All right, we'll go to our round reviews then. So we'll start off with DR. So DR's not here, but he has sent through a very mini round review. So he did hold off on the trade to bring in Tristan Cherry. To trade. Let me repeat this. So he did hold off in going. Sorko to Sinclair and bringing in Brody Grundy. He just did the simple one trade. Tristan Cherry, Rowan Marshall. 2 trades left. 2,444. So a good round there in the grand scheme, but unfortunately didn't get a rank rise. We'll go to you next, Spillsy. 2257. What's going on, mate?
Yeah, just hit with carnage. Hasn't been a good year. So I think I took your advice last week when I decided that maybe it's probably a better idea to play for leagues. You asked me what was I playing for? Are you playing for overall or are you playing for leagues? So I only got the 2 trades left. So I decided to sort of hold off on Cherry. Just going to keep him and he'll be a bit of a pod when he comes. Hopefully we're in enough league finals for him to make some sort of an impact. And then the really tricky one was holding horne-francis, planning for Matty Kennedy. So that one sort of flopped in itself because Matty Boy had a terrific game, and I wish I saved myself a little bit more coin in the salary cap, but I can't actually get to him in one trade. So now I'm stuck in 2 minds. What do I do with horne-francis? There's literally no one. It's the 4th round of Supercoach draft at this point with horne-francis. When you get rid of him, what do you do? So this week's pod will be based off, what do I use 2 trades and get in a genuine primo in the forward line that I know is going to be like top 4, or do I look for a bit of value off one trade? So that'll be part of the major assessment. But yeah, I got hit hard. Got hit really hard this week. So that's 2 out. Also Rose as well. We forget that he had a hand injury. Sort of hands are tied with him. Quite literally had to hold him. So he VC'd Whitfield, got the C on Gorn, which was actually pretty good. But yeah, a few fake primos. What's Shea Bolton doing? I mean, his mid-minutes were up.
No.
They were up a stack at the start of the year. I think we did the right thing by bringing him in for 420k because he'd only had that one score of 5 or whatever it was. That was just a mulligan. Okay, we'll give him that one. But the rest were like really, really consistent. 80 plus, I'm talking. Like his bad was like 70. His best was, pushing 150. But it looks like he's just a genuine forward at this rate. So, yeah, just picks like that are a little bit hard to fathom. So, yeah, we've sort of just put a little bit of a line through trying to do any sort of damage overall and, really focusing on leagues, I think, so we can win a couple of finals. But, happy to accept it for what it is. And, as I said last week, plenty of learnings that I'd love to bring into next year. And we'll definitely talk about that as the year goes on. But, I'm still feeling pretty good about it. I think we can salvage the side and hopefully do a little bit of damage come finals time. So, not all doom and gloom, boys. What about yourself, Rossco? A lot better than me. You sort of lurk around that 30k. I thought a 2, 3, 4, 5 would actually be a little bit higher. Like you'd be, I thought you'd see a green arrow there, but talk
Yeah.
us through your week, man. How'd you go?
No, look, I did
Really?
think it was a bit better, and I reckon I probably should have scored a little bit better overall as well. It's just a matter of a couple players, playing well, a couple players not playing well that maybe other people have. I put the VC on Bont. I was fairly happy to take his 126, so locked that away early. But then just a lot of players. Tom Stewart got subbed off injured. We'll discuss him when we sort of go through the injuries. Hopefully, he is going to play this week. But then I'm stuck with Shea Bolton as well, just like you, Spillsy, and Tom De Koning. Another one who's really annoying me at the minute. Although, Janath, I'm not sure if you can confirm, but
yes.
It could be Mackay back in this week and De Koning back into
We will get to that. We will get to that.
And then just a couple of underperforming players: Dawson, Petrarca, Lockie Neal, Bailey Smith. None of them really went all that big. You get an extra 20 points off each of them, and then 2,400. So I can't really complain. It's the team that I've got now, and just going to hold it through to the end. I've got 2 trades still. If Stewart was to go out injured, I'd probably trade him to somebody else. But other than that, holding on until I really need them for finals, which takes us over to you, Janath. Looking to do some league damage with your 15 out of 16 wins there.
All right. Now, I don't want to sort of rub it in, guys, but I suspect that all 3 of you had 22 players on the park. 23 players on the park last week, correct?
Yes.
I had 21.
Maybe less. No, I think I had less. I'm
all right, Spillsy, you're ruining a good narrative, mate. Come on. Nah.
Okay, right. I had one.
You play with 22.
Yeah.
I play with 21. So this was 21,
what
24.79.
What'd you do? Where'd you pull this one from?
So we'll go to the context first. So this is my messages, DR. Rossco got a very similar message as well. But basically, last week on the potty, I was mentioning how I can go Gawn to Cherry last week and then hopefully do JHF to Matt Kennedy this week. If Matt Kennedy scored under 109, now he didn't. He scored 123, which means that I had 3 different options. So before last week, I had 4 trades. So option 1 was go Tristan Cherry to Gawn last week. So get Gawn's score, but it would mean that I would struggle to get a good forward for Horne-Francis this week in 1 trade. It means I'd have to spend 2 trades to get a Jackson, and by the end of this round, I would have 1 trade left. The other option was Lloyd Meek to Tristan Cherry. I can get JHF to Kennedy this week, but it means I would go with Lloyd Meek as opposed to Max Gawn, who's sort of what I want to do. The third option is what I ended up going with. So I was always going to play with a maximum of 22 because I was holding Jason Horne-Francis, didn't have forward cover with Keeler injured, Archer Reid not playing. But what I ended up doing, 21 playing, and I banked on Max Gawn scoring less than 139, dropping the 5.6k that I needed him to be able to afford Max Gawn and Matt Kennedy in 2 trades this week. Max Gawn was on 20 at halftime, ended on 128. We don't care. The net loss is 128 points at the end of the day as the 22nd option, but now having the ideal ruck in Max Gawn and the ideal forward in Matt Kennedy on the run home is what I have, and at least 2 trades left for the next coming round. So that's sort of what transpired, boys. That's what transpired. It is a risk, and it means that I'm 128 points less rough now. But just 2 parts of that. One thing is I felt that being able to talk with you, Rossco, with DI, it really does, and Spills, we chat all the time as well, is like it really helps being able to talk with someone, just chat through the thought process. Like you can see there the exact thoughts that are going through my mind. And the second thing is sacrificing the 120 points. I'd prefer the trade over the 120 points because in 3 rounds time when no one has trades, that 1 trade could be so worth it. Ended up VCing Tom Green.
Yeah.
Which was the 150. So even then I felt that if I play with 22, I have an advantage given the 150 Green is there. Don't necessarily need a flex. You can sort of offset a bad score. And then absolutely love the Nazaya Wangani Malera move into the midfield. Means that Jack Sinclair can pick it up as well. So they can both benefit. It's a mutualistic relationship there. And for the most part, the defenders all turned up, which I think is the first time that's happened in a while. It was just a pretty good week all around. Happy with the result, and now looking to really attack the upcoming 5 weeks with 2 trades left and getting in Gawn and Kennedy this week.
There you go. I was going to say, you better not forget to mention Tom Green there, because when I got that message on Friday after you've already banked 300 points, I thought, well, why don't you just go with no trades? I mean, at least you didn't have to nail a captain as well.
Yeah, that's exactly it, mate. And some of the captaincy options now, like, we put in a lot of research into the captaincy options, but there's so many fluctuations, swings and roundabouts, like a Jordan Dawson 88 against Gold Coast, and a team, when you beat them by, 50-odd points, you would think that Dawson would score well, but he only scores an 88, and so it's really difficult to nail down a captain this time of year. Spillsy, is there anything you want to add?
Yeah, I was going to say, like, yeah, we're gone. Gee, that's lucky. So lucky that he did that, because he salvaged that score. I remember, because I actually had him captain, and I was at one of the boys' houses just watching on, and tuning from game to game, and I checked the score at halftime, and I'm thinking to myself, game's gone. The Supercoach it's just when I thought it was over, it is really over. I mean, I'm about to cop another 40 captain. Max Gorn. And then when I saw that, my phone was 128, I'm like, how?
Far out.
I didn't really watch any of that game, particularly in the second half. Watched a little bit of the first half, but what did he do to turn that around? Because far out, it was 100-point second half is pretty impressive considering, what we're looking at. So,
nah, all good, mate. Well, I don't really want to talk about this.
You're just not good, mate. No one's going to catch you now.
We shall promptly move on past this. The first of...
You're just the GOAT of the pod year after year.
What we will say is we got 3 tweets of the week, and none of them were officially picked by Spillsy.
Not a single one.
Now the first one, Rossco. Naz Wangani Malera. Where can he not play? I bet you put him in the ruck and he'll still score 100 Supercoach. The kid is a jet. Do you want to talk about this stat line? Filthy.
Yeah, look, I got to watch him down in Geelong on Sunday, and I thought to myself, at quarter time, I was trying to check the fantasy scores and all that, and I thought, geez, he's had a big quarter. And then I looked at it, and he was on 70 game day and 50 Supercoach, and I was like, yeah, that deserves what I've just watched him do. He nailed a kick inside 50 to Mitch Owens, something like that, around the corner, broke away from the clearance and hit Sharman above his head. I'm just like, wow, what a player. I'm really hoping that he doesn't leave, because that would do really bad things for the club, for the fans. And it would be really hard to watch him play at another team. I think I'm kind of resigned. Even if he doesn't go this year, he's going to sign for 2 years and go anyway. But hopefully that's not the case. Ideally, we get a win over the D's this weekend, and they announce it after we've had a win, which is wishful thinking. If we can't do that this weekend, then we play North, we play Richmond, we play Essendon. So surely one of those games we can win, and we can announce him on a new contract. Let's hope for that.
Mate. That's it, mate. The reason why I've got this tweet here as well is we finally saw so for probably the last couple of years, our sort of dreaded hope was that Sinclair goes in the midfield and Naz plays the halfback, and Sinclair doesn't benefit, Naz benefits to the moon. But when Naz plays as a midfielder where he can play, Sinclair's racking it up down back. He gets his 120, Naz gets his 150, win-win all around. I think if you're an owner of both of them, whatever roles currently are present, that should sit. So an awesome sort of performance there. Spillsy, do you want to take us through sort of these next 2 Brodie Grundy related tweets?
Yeah, just unbelievable. So, DR's just brought him in. So, funny enough, I think 150 is a score both Grundy owners and non-Grundy owners would be happy with. What do you think? Well, considering we all thought he was going to go 200, basically. I can't even remember what he scored off the top of my head, boys.
He scored 150. He scored
150. So, it was bang on 150. Frogger, non-owner, happy for him. He's wound back the clock. Outrageous run, wasn't sure. He still had it in him. I feel bad for Laddams though. Acknowledged champion, lost in Grundy's shadow. One of the all-time what ifs. Peanut. Guess that Brownlow won't land again this year. This is genuine bait. This is trying to wind up one of the absolute Supercoach goats that is our very own, and he's done it in great
It's
fashion.
very tongue in cheek, mate. Very tongue
So
in cheek.
tongue in cheek if you've ever seen it, but yeah, had a bit of a cheeky dig and he hit it well. So yeah, kudos to Frogger. He's been a massive friend of ours for a long time on the potty. I reckon he was there in the real early days when like DR and I first fired up the potty. I reckon one of the first like top 5 names that we saw pop up. So yeah, kudos to him. It's all good banter. It's all within good spirit. But yeah, Brody Grundy boys, he's a different beast. Where did he pull this form from? I mean, unbelievable. And then, yeah, the next one, a bit of reminiscing, boys. We've all seen the Simpsons meme. This you can use it with anything, and
What a
this is a
show.
pretty good one. You got the Gorney combo with what I reckon is. I reckon it's a much better Supercoach format, the 2018, 2019 format. Yeah. I love it. I reckon it smiles better than what we've currently got, but they're still there. It's still Gorney to this day in 2025, 153, 128. And then, yeah, you always have them in your captaincy combo. So, yeah, DR just reminiscing at the moment. He's, going back to the archives, and it's hard to believe those two are still the GOATs, even though you got Cherry in the mix, and there's a bunch of others like Rowan and Meek who have proved to be really good ruckman. But yeah, you can't go past arguably the two GOATs, and it's good to see Grundy actually find this form again. We thought he'd never do it, burnt us a couple of years ago, so now he looks like every bit a must-have of 2026. So what do you reckon, boys? He's
Rossco?
just in a league of his own right now.
Yeah, look, I'm going to toot my own horn a little bit here. I reckon when we did the must-have tier ranking for Brody Grundy when the Swans were coming off their bye, I reckon I put him in as a must-have, and there was a few comments on the video. People were saying, "Oh, there's no way Grundy should be up there with Gorn and Cherry."
Come on, mate! Don't listen to any outside noise. Just back your opinion.
Outside noise.
Age well. Yeah. No outside noise. Don't worry about it.
Boys. Look, you got to spot when they're on the run, and even though I spotted he was on a run, I've done absolutely nothing to get him in, so I can't claim it all that well. But
it's been pretty hard to grab. I'll be honest.
Just say it.
Yeah.
Well, look, I think it just goes to show. But Brody Grundy wasn't even the best ruckman this week. For those people that were playing along with the game day squad, pick the highest Supercoach score for the round. I'm not sure many people at Jordan Sweet 200 on their bingo card. Maybe Isaac Heaney, and you got stitched up by him getting benched for the last 5 minutes, 197. But Jordan Sweet 200. Look, we're going to run it back this week. I would like to think that Jordan Sweet is not going to be the highest scoring Supercoach player this round. But what do you boys think very quickly, before we talk about captains a bit later on, right now, who do you think is going to be the highest Supercoach scorer this round?
That's tough. I got a few options off the top of my head. I think.
Yeah. Who's got who? That's
what Bont versus Essendon Thursday night could do it. Dacos versus Richmond.
Oh yeah.
Richmond. Max Holmes against North.
Gorn versus Marshall.
Butters in a showdown.
Yeah. And then Tom Green usually goes all right in a Sydney derby.
Green. So,
English versus Old Gold. That'll be
English versus Old Gold.
Yeah.
So you reckon Goldie will be back in this week?
Oh, don't know.
Possibly.
Someone's got to do it. Oh my god. I'll do it if I have to, boys. I mean, who's rocking for us at the moment?
Well, yeah, they subbed Vizentini for Blackiston in the last quarter.
Yeah. Blackiston surprisingly is a ruckman in Supercoach. He doesn't look any bit like a ruckman. So interesting. So I think Bailey Dale as well would he have 50 last time he played?
Yeah, 49.
He could go big.
Can he back it up? I want to see if he could back it up. He's going to get no attention whatsoever. It's allegedly a VFL list that they're playing against. So I reckon the Doggies are really going to cash in. They want to make finals. They're not mucking around. It's going to be another 90-point hammering, and you could flip a coin out of 5 players from the Doggies, I reckon, that are going to absolutely dominate, and VC any of your choice. But yeah.
All right. Going to leave it to the fans here as well.
I put that as a teaser. The fans don't need to comment just yet. They get access to the captain's corner before they can make their decisions. So we'll leave it to that. We're just going to talk injuries very quickly. Not too much relevance across the board in terms of we got some very good news this week. So Dane Zorko, he was looking a bit proppy against the Bulldogs on the weekend, but his ankle or his foot is all clear. He'll play in the Q Clash against Gold Coast. How good is it, by the way, that we have a rivalry round? Freo against West Coast, Sydney against GWS, the Showdown, the Q Clash. Absolutely brilliant all around. Tommy Stewart's an interesting one. So all these updates thanks to Honeyball. So he just jarred his knee. Now, it's the opposite knee to which he injured to start this year. So I don't know what that means necessarily in terms of Tommy Stewart's long-term sort of prospects to play this week. He says that he'll be okay for next week. That's this upcoming week. But Chris Scott is also Chris Scott. Geelong, the king of the late out. So I don't know, Rossco. I'd be very nervous that he'll be named and a late out.
Yeah, it does concern me a little bit, but what can you do?
They did it with Baz. I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't do it with Stewart. I mean, yeah, Chris Scott always lies. He goes, yeah, no worries. And then last minute, bang, he does not care. And why should he? Kudos to him. More coaches should do it. It's such a power move, honestly. But I'd be surprised. I actually would be surprised. They've got finals. So, they're going to finish top 4 regardless, you'd think. So they got every right to manage players and get them fit for September. So, wouldn't put it past him.
Here's one, Spillsy, for you. Connor Rosey. So it's about his pain threshold. Broken bone. He's going to do main training on Wednesday night. So Goat Fantasy, Drew Jones from Fox Footy put out a short clip on his sort of video podcast socials about Connor Rosey today. It's up to Rosey, basically. Port did make the mistake last year in bringing him back too early from the hamstring. This time it's a broken hand bone. It's not too interfering with his sort of drills, but there's obviously a pain threshold thing there. So another one where I feel like if he's named, then they've got the captain's run on Friday. They'll probably give us the best indication whether he plays or not. You'd think he gets up for the Showdown, but it's a wait and see. Tom De Koning is one where he did suffer a stinger from a nasty sort of shoulder blow. I think he was in the first half, but he did play out the game, so he looks all good. Now, here's the news, Rossco, that you're after. Harry Mackay is not on the injury report. I don't think he's a test to play either. I think he should be straight back in. Now, who goes out? The reason why I'm not certain as to who goes out is because Mark Pitnet has been playing quite well the last couple of weeks. Was one of our best on against Brisbane, and then arguably held his own against Max Gawn, I felt, watching the game. So whether Tom De Koning, Mark Pitnet, Harry Mackay, Charlie Curnow, who goes out? Does anybody go out? Do they play all of them? We'll be waiting to see. So one thing's for sure, Ashton Moy needs to stay in the team. That's my boy. And then the big one, lads, which we haven't really thought much about since preseason about this play. Will Day, he's going to return this week for the Hawks against us, Carlton. And I think that's a massive in for the Hawks. You can clearly tell just how much his presence has been missed in that Hawks midfield. And so I think this is going to be a really big boost for them come finals time, so long as they can make it. Two other ones. One other one very quickly, sorry. Daniel Rioli, 4 to 6 weeks with a calf. So that probably boosts John Noble's stocks if you've got him in Supercoach, but as a game day squad option in particular, to the moon shall John Noble go. But unfortunate for Dan Rioli just before finals. Boys, do you have anything you want to add?
No.
I think you've summed it up there pretty well.
Good to see Will Day back. I'm looking forward to watching him.
All right, Rossco, your time to shine now. I want you to give us some trade-in targets, which is based off of the defense versus position analysis at DFS Australia. Now, very quickly, I've just put this here to show just how many stats you can access at DFS Australia, one of the best websites going around. We like to look in the bottom right corner with our season pack. It's very cheap. I think it's only a couple of coffees that you need to sort of give up to sort of access this. But then all the free data as well, CBAs, kick-ins, ruck contests, substitutes, tag data. The player stat summary is basically what we use to create our captain's corner every week. It's a brilliant tool. Player disposal maps, everything you could want and more is available here. And it also includes live game day squad scoring. So if you're on both Supercoach and game day squad, this is the place to be. All right, Rossco, take it away.
You don't mind if I bring up the screen here? Let's have a look. Season-long DVP. So we'll start with the designated kickers. We'll zoom in on that a little bit, see if you can see it a bit better. The best teams you want to be playing against for your sort of defenders who are taking your kick-ins and, playing off half-back, you want to play Richmond and Essendon. Gold Coast, Melbourne and Carlton are okay. The rest of the teams are all sort of average, but you want to be trying to avoid Freo, Sydney, Collingwood and the Giants. Now, that leaves St Kilda here, which is actually quite surprising, as if we haven't seen enough good stuff from Naz and Sinclair. We've got the D's, North, Richmond, Essendon and the Giants to finish off the season. Geelong here with Max Holmes. He's been taking a few kick-ins as well, playing against Essendon and Richmond in round 24 there as well. The rest are all pretty average here, actually, for the kickers, but something to notice down the bottom. Dane Zorko, the Brisbane Lions, have got the worst average plus-minus here. They play Gold Coast, Collingwood, Sydney, Freo and Hawthorn, who are all teams pretty much in the 8 or fighting to be in the 8. Tricky opponents for them there. For the kickers, now, we've got the rucks, and the rucks are a lot more green because there's just a lot of spud rucks in the comp, or maybe not spuds, but they're just players that are, conceding a lot of points. Flynn, Essendon, whoever's playing for them, Briggs, Meek, Marshall, Port Adelaide, Fremantle with their sort of rookie ruck setups or dual ruck setups, giving up a lot of points. As you can see here, we've got Melbourne, Max Gawn, Sydney.
Grundy's going to dominate, man. He's going to cash in the finals.
And Cherry, when he gets back,
come on,
to play West Coast, Collingwood and North. All tasty-looking options. Now, if you're looking to bring someone in, I know we did the ruck rankings last week. Lloyd Meek has got a terrible run home. And then no one's really looking at Flynn, Sweet. McInerney. Tough run coming up for them.
What about Darcy Cameron down there in the 4th last? So he's got Brisbane, Adelaide and Melbourne on the run home. Tough matchups for him. So if you're looking for a ruck this week, it's Max Gawn or go all the way up to Grundy?
Yeah, look, I think Gorney could be the one, playing against Marshall, then playing against Matt Flynn, playing against English, playing against Meek, although Grundy's got Giants, Essendon, Geelong and West Coast. So they're both pretty tidy. Now, we've got the inside mids. So these are a bit less balanced than the rucks again. St Kilda back at the top. We want to be sort of playing the sort of lower end of the ladder teams. West Coast, North, Melbourne, Carlton, Essendon, Richmond. Surprisingly, I don't know what it is, but St Kilda are a red matchup. They're actually the worst matchup for inside mids to play against, which is surprising to me because I've always thought that our midfield sort of sucks. But
I reckon it's got a lot to do with like Win Hager doing tag jobs. It has to.
Yeah.
He would kill the average, I reckon, even though he's not really doing that at the moment. It's one of those ones where like history isn't always valid, but he's done some jobs, so maybe that could be it. But
plus Steele and McRae are, not the quickest. They're good shutdown sort of tackling midfielders as well. So that could be in there. Now we have the best run again here. Coming up against Melbourne, North, Richmond and Essendon. Now GWS in the last round is average. I don't think they'd send a Bedford tag to anyone other than Wanganeen Millera, although he's not tagging at the moment, is he, boys?
He's not tagging.
Tagging.
Yeah.
It's so really, matchup. I think St Kilda have the perfect matchup. You almost want to target players.
You want a McRae.
You've already got like Naz and Sinclair, but even if Jack Steele's a pod, I mean, it's a bit left field, but send it. What's the worst that could happen? This is such a piss take fixture he's got. It's just unfortunate.
Jack McRae.
Yeah, North Essendon, Richmond in particular. It's just unfortunate for those sides who have really struggled. But St Kilda can cash in on this. Like, they're going to have a good end of the year. You think.
What about the doggies? The doggies.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Yeah. That's good.
Essendon.
He has a Kennedy.
Giants, Melbourne, Eagles. Freo in the last round is a bit tricky. But I think Freo gave up some big scores in the last couple of weeks, haven't they?
Yeah, well, Nick Dacos 169. I guess he was playing sort of as the halfback going through the midfield sort of thing. But look, that's a matchup. That's what you're saying. If you're eyeing off Matt Kennedy this week, is this sort of the green tick to just go right ahead?
Yeah, look, I think with these 4 games, especially Essendon, GWS, Melbourne, and West Coast, other than the Saints, like you're not really getting much of a better run at it. Geelong could rival it, I suppose. They've probably got 3 really easy ones in North, Essendon, and Richmond, but then they've got Port and Sydney, which are 2 sort of trickier games, which could hold Smith and Holmes back. Although the way that they play is sort of a little bit fixture proof. Holmes is always taking kick ins, and Bailey Smith tends to just run around and do what he wants anyway. So the only other thing I really had to note, other than the bottom teams down here, Brisbane have got a bit of a tricky run. The Suns this weekend, which has been just decent, and then they've got Collingwood, Sydney, Freo, and Hawthorn. All those final teams again. So not exactly the best for the Lions. Now, I just want to touch on the forwards very quickly. GWS have got a great run home for general forwards. So if you're looking at a pod, maybe Toby Green could be one you could look at. The other team here is Geelong. I would be looking at Brian Myers. Hawthorn here, quite negative. So if you were getting sucked in by Dylan Moore, I'd probably recommend avoiding it. And then we'll go into the key forwards.
Come on,
here.
Sam Darcy. Come on, Riley Thilthorpe.
Yeah, what happened to Sammy?
Oh, that's no good.
Yeah, we've got Thilthorpe here, just neutral. Darcy's kind of neutral as well. But if you're looking at Jesse Hogan, got St Kilda round 24, North round 22. The Doggies, I don't know, playing them at home, could kick a few. Maybe the Saints, I don't know. We can't pick any of our key
Jeremy
forwards
Cameron.
against North Richmond. Yeah, Jeremy Cameron could be the one though. North, Richmond at home, Richmond away round 24, Essendon here. Port might be they're out of finals contention, aren't they?
Yeah.
Sydney
so
could
is
very
Sydney,
well be out of
basically,
finals
yeah.
contention by here as well. So if you're looking at a key forward, Jeremy Cameron could be the one, although most people are probably not looking at making too many trades. Though I do think it's interesting, definitely, boys, that somehow St Kilda seem to have the best run home.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's happened because we've had the hardest fixture all year. I suppose it had to turn eventually.
It's got to open up
Give
eventually.
us a quick summary then, Rossco, in terms of if you had to pick one designated kicker, one inside mid, one ruck, and let's say one forward, whether it's general or key forward to bring in across the lines, let's say a price 550k. It's not like one of the top Uber sort of players. Who are you looking based off the data?
In terms of designated kicker, I've been looking at Sinclair under 500k if you don't have him, definitely.
Yep.
Awesome. In terms of a ruck, probably your best option is Gorn. Grundy might be a bit out of range for people. Inside midfielders, you could be looking at Wanganeen Miller, a top liner, or as you said, Spillsy, you got Steele as a pod, McRae in the forward line.
Yeah.
Although the Bulldogs, Bailey Smith, Max Holmes, Bontempelli, Richards, Libba, all have a nice run as well. Then for your general forwards, you could be looking at Graham Myers or Toby Green. And for your key forwards, probably Jeremy Cameron.
Jez is the one, yeah.
Yeah.
Love to get Jez.
I think they all come across a lot of the same teams as well.
Awesome. Well, boys, we're almost done with the content for the potty, but we're going to do a bit of forward planning now into 2026. So I gave you boys a little bit of homework to do pre-podcast in terms of a play or two that you're sort of eyeing off or looking into for your 2026 Supercoach team. I'm just going to crack us off here with a player. He's caught my eye a lot recently, especially in the absence of one of his teammates. He's currently priced at 462,200. Started the year 252k. Sam Banks. Now, Jaden Shaw was out for a period of time, and Sammy Banks was pretty consistent. 97, 88, 92, 95, 84, 62, 129, 96, 102. So he was banging the door down pretty much. It's his 4th year in the AFL system. Yes, but he sort of solidified that role as a designated kick in the Richmond backline. And if he can get if Jaden Short isn't there next year for whatever reason, I think Sammy Banks could take the next step forward and could be one that we're looking at as a mid-price option in 2026. Sorry. Spillsy, who do you have?
We're going to do a bit of we had the quiz on the other week. I want to do a bit of guess the player one here. So no cheating, boys. No looking at your data on the next tab, like your browser. No cheating. Yeah, all right, boys. Here we go. This one caught me eye. I had a bit of a deep dive before we did the potty, and I have a 4-round average of 118, but I've averaged 74 for the season, and
Dan
I am a
Curtin.
forward. Oh, good man. Good get. Yep.
Is it
Daniel
Dan Curtin?
Curtin. It is
Come
Curtin.
on.
Yeah, Janath, you know you've had a year like Janath when you just you just smashed it straight off the bat. I reckon, so he's probably going to be priced anywhere from 350 to 400k, I reckon. It just depends like what form he can finish off the season. You hope he goes good, but not too good because you got some real stinkers there. You've like 440s in a row or something like that. You started the year with a 26. Just, I'm talking putrid. You thought this bloke is just on the backburn of his career and a bit of a list clogger for a high draft pick, and he's made everyone look astray.
Second year player.
He's going to win the Rising Star.
Honestly,
He's a list
boys,
clock
like
as a second year player.
where are they playing him? Like he just didn't look
Yeah, that's
anywhere
fair.
near. He was drafted as a halfback, and they've played him everywhere. But
Yeah.
I mean, he just didn't look like he would. To me, he looked like the sort of player that wouldn't crack it at the level. That sounds really critical, but just, gee, it's good to be proven wrong on this occasion. He looks unbelievable, and I think the forward line's always a really tough one to pick. And yeah, would I pay? Yeah, like 370k for Dan Curtin in the forward line based off how he finished the year. Well, hell yeah, I would. I mean, yeah, that's a pretty good bang for buck. And if he can start off next year how he's ended off this year, I think, yeah, it could be some really good value presenting. So I don't know, boys. He was one that I thought was a bit of a sexy pick. Another one as well, just straight off the bat as a rookie. Hopefully, another Adelaide boy, but hopefully Sid Draper isn't sub every single week and submit some sort of role. But yeah, there are a couple for you. I think Draper will be very
I
highly
rate
owned.
it.
But yeah, Dan Curtin was just someone that I saw and thought, you know what, maybe, just maybe, we'll see what happens. What do you boys reckon? He's a good shout.
Yeah, I think so. It's definitely showing a lot of promise. So, another preseason in him. No reason to change that.
I'm absolutely livid that I know we got Nate Caddy, but we wanted him. He was our man in that draft. We just missed him by one pick. It went down to one pick, and yeah, we did that infamous trade with Geelong to sort of get Nate Caddy. But
Yeah.
I'd love to have Dan Curtin at the Bombers right now. He, as good as Caddy is, yeah, Curtin looks like some sort of player. So yeah,
I don't
hopefully he can
think you
just
can
back up the
complain with
Storm.
Caddy, mate. He's going to be a Jet as well.
Isn't he? Yeah, he's going to be a Jet.
Curtin
Probably
was
a
going
bit
to
too
be my...
critical of him. You forget like key forwards take a long time to develop and get going. I mean, yeah, in 7 or 8 years, he's probably going to be a genuine star.
Yeah.
Took a long time with like Jezza and Tom Hawkins and stuff like that. So yeah, he'll burst onto the scene. So, but yeah,
Curtin was going to be my second play if it came around again, but he's looking so good in terms of he's playing a wing role and he's scoring well, like because he gets involved in games. He goes forward, he goes back, like
that's why you knew who I had. You would have known all that. You would have known all those stats, like as I reeled them off. No wonder you got that just straight off the bat. I thought no one's that good. I know you're good, Janath, but no one's that good. Come on, you've done your research.
Roscoe, who's your sort of 2026 player that you're eyeing off?
Look, I'm gonna stick it close to home. He's already had a massive breakout year this year, but I think he can go bigger again next year. Playing for the Saints made an absolute load of cash for everyone. Max Hall.
Yeah.
I think Max Hall could be a genuine premium option for us next year. I don't know what price he'd start at, but he's a mature age sort of recruit for us. He's going to be 24 next season, ideally coming into the start of his footy prime. Whatever water goes under the bridge with Naz, if he stays, if he leaves, I think Hall will still get some midfield time, play sort of that mid half forward role that we were looking at. Philippou, who's another one who could do that again next year. He bobs up, kicks goals, lays a lot of tackles. And I just think if he gets that midfield time next year and he starts mid 300K, he's shown real scoring power this year. A couple of big tons and, a lot of 70s and 80s, which another year in the system, hopefully we're a bit better again next year. And, you never know what he could do.
Yep.
Philippou's one, hopefully we get him right. And then the other one I want to throw in as well is Angus Hasty. If Wanganeen Miller goes, I think Webster will probably go. Probably leaves him and Sinclair to establish their role off halfback. And I think start him cheap enough, he could make us a bit of cash as well.
Awesome. Like, look, can't complain. We've just told, well, you two boys just talked about two of the best rookies this year, and we expect them to take that extra step next year. And look, Maxi Hall looks like a jet when he comes up to stoppages. It'd be really interesting to see what his sort of stoppage percentage is, like how many stoppages he's actually at. Like, he doesn't get CBAs, but I feel like he plays a lot at stoppage, very similar to that Grind Myers role, and that's why both of them score quite well in that role.
Now, I think you could correct me if I'm wrong here, but I actually think
on.
he did get CBAs in the last quarter of the game.
Okay, let's check that out.
I think he did. Let's see. He got 18% across the game. So I think it was only the fourth quarter. They threw him in there, and I think he got 11 touches. So, if he gets a midfield spot, then look out.
There's one other player that I want to talk about very quickly, and DR's not here to talk him up, but one of our favourites around here, the Butcher, Colby McKercher. I think that in terms of a starting pick for next year, he obviously is going to be at a very discounted price, given that he didn't play as a halfback for most of this year, but now he's sort of finished the role. Yes, he had a bad game against Sydney, and we typically know that Sydney does this to most players. He's currently priced, he's currently averaging 77. We could probably see that go close to 80 to 82, so he may be priced that sort of 440, 450K awkward price mark. But third year breakout, I can totally see it happening. If he's going to be that main distributor off the back line, with hopefully they phase out Caleb Daniel next year, not this year, fingers crossed. But yeah, it could be Colby's back line next year. And if that's a player that we can get at 450K for North, big ticks there as a defender. Any other players you want to add in there, boys?
Nah, I reckon this is where we can even open it up to the fans. I know we've got Captain's Corner as well, but we might open it up to the fans. So you guys watching got a lot of commenting to do. Drop a breakout player for 2026 in the comments. I'm pretty curious to read through and hear what so many of the great minds of the community have to think.
And why. Don't just drop a player. Justify why you think they're going to be a 2026 player to watch.
I got one more as well, just real quick. I don't know what he's going to be priced at, but Hayden Young will be back soon. Full preseason finally. What could he do? G looks good in the midfield. I don't know what he's going to be priced at. He's played 3 or so games, so not really getting a proper run at it. So he could be. He's one that everyone's probably forgotten, similar to Will Day, but yeah, no reason he can't burst out on the scene and do some damage in 2026.
I guess that's always the issue with sort of Hayden Young, isn't it? Like he just gets injured
when you
need him. So
if he can get a full preseason with not a hiccup at all, like not a single hiccup, and dominate midfield, and literally like he'd be one that you look in the practice match and go, "Fire, he's getting 130 Supercoach here just easily. He's fully fit." Like maybe you take the punt on him, but yeah, he'll be at that price where you pay a little bit extra for a like genuine Uber mid, so it might be a bit awkward, but one was thought was worth a shout. Don't know.
Now, Spillsy, I recall you saying at the start of the episode that you took my advice and you're going to hold trades for the finals time. And now, I was putting the slides again. You've got a couple of trades in here. What's going on?
Well, that was the plan, mate. I was pretty happy to grab a Matt Kennedy off Horne-Francis if all things went well, but 6.8K in the bank, it's not really going to do it, is it? So what do? Who do I grab? So I thought maybe just stuff it, go down to a rookie, grab a dogger as a bit of a pod in the forward line. I have no idea. 0 trades left. What do you do? It's just Carnage City. Or I hold that last trade, and it's, as I said to you boys before, it's the 4th or 5th round of draft. What do I do with Horne-Francis? I got 1 trade. I got 6K. I can't afford Thilthorpe, and I can't afford Jezza Cameron. He'd be the one that I want. Mm-hmm. There is no one. It is reaching it. It is so hard. If I just had another 20K, Matt Kennedy would be easy as in 1 trade, but it's really getting to the point where I'm looking at having 2 primos not playing again. And yes, I want to do some damage in league finals, but I've actually got to make finals first, so I can't just be copping 2 primos out and then fielding a McCarthy on top of that. So maybe I just do have to, try me luck and reach for something good. It has to be a forward though with horne-francis. No DPP in the midfield, in terms of a primo. So yeah, it has to be a forward. So the best forward, boys. What do you reckon of Dogger? I think just scores well, whether it's ruck or midfield, just looking really good as a pod.
How about this one? How about this one? You may not like it. Sean
Probably
Manor.
not, but
We've talked about the Geelong general forwards as having the easiest sort of run home.
Sean Manor.
400.3k, scored 130 on the weekend against the Saints. He was everywhere. Roscoe, you can testify to this. I felt like he was everywhere. 24 touches, 6 marks, 11 tackles, 3 goals. Absolute blinder of a performance. Could he go there? Could you go there?
Look, if it meant doing it in one trade, like I'd love to just keep that one trade for injuries, and if anything happens, it happens. At least I've got it. So it's either grab the best for 2 trades, and you've got nothing left. It helps, but the cover's still not that great. So I don't really know. What have I got? I've got 445k getting rid of horne-francis. So I'm less than 10k too short for Kennedy. I can't even get Caleb Daniel. Thilthorpe's gone. I could grab Baker. Okay, so Jeremy Cameron is 445.8. I'm
You're like $3,000
445.4. I need $400
$400
to get to
400
Cameron.
more, yeah.
So that's pretty.
He needs a loan.
It's really getting. I couldn't get a loan because I've got no more trades left. So I've always been hot on that, the Supercoach loan system. But yeah, you won't be able to provide it. There's no interest on my side, boys. It's it's bottom of the barrel
that's
stuff.
So stiff.
I reckon Manor's probably the best of what I can afford off one trade, honestly. But would you do it? Would you? You want to play leagues? Do you just send it with Dogger and hope that nothing else happens? And I've already got 2 players out of injury. Does it get any worse?
Yeah.
I know
here's what I do, Spillsy.
But it's been this year. It's absolutely fallen to pieces this year for me. I don't know how or why. I don't think I've done anything wrong from previous seasons, but luck-wise and just with how the cookies crumbled, it's barely gone my way. So I don't know what to do. I actually have no idea what to do here.
Go on,
I reckon I would sort of do a little mini projection. What you think Jackson will score in these 5 games, just like write it out based on the matchup, whatever, and then do the same for Manor. And then if it ends up being close together, then maybe you can just sort of go with Sean Manor. But if you think there's going to be a big difference, then I know it's just guessing. It's just guessing, but if you think Jackson's going to have a couple games where he's only going to get 100, whereas Manor's high scores are going to be 100, you probably go with Jackson.
Yep.
The other thing I would do, Spillsy, is you don't need a non-playing player in your final spot because you're going to have 25k left at the end of the season without anything. I'd be looking to bring in a Max Heath, forward ruck cover as well. He scored 57, 56. He had 41% ruck contests against the Saints, against Geelong on the weekend. There was some contest where Marshall was playing forward and Heath was in the ruck. Like, that's how much ruck time he got. So if you bring in Heath and Jackson in this case, you're providing yourself with you can play Jackson at R2 whilst Cherry is out, and then you can play Heath in the forward line. So you can cover 2 spots with one, basically, instead of bringing in a non-playing player that's probably never going to play this year.
No, he won't play. He's literally just a
But
DPP
it's not about money for you. You're going to have 26k anyway, so you might as well just maximize the money you have. If you're going to go with these trades, that is.
Get on the moose.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good idea, actually. Always find a way, don't you, Janath? Like, I never would have thought of that. Like, maximizing the value of DPP. Never thought about Heath, so we'll see. I don't know. Something's got to give. A Manor off one trade. Jet stiff down $400, too short for Jezza, though. I mean, he'd be perfect. Perfect little slot there. I mean,
but everything happens for a reason, mate. Everything does happen for a reason.
One less kick or a handball and he's in, so it's ridiculous. But
Now,
Janath,
on
looking
my
good
end,
there.
I'm just told you the trades right at the start of the potty in terms of Gawn and Kennedy in, Cherry and Horne-Francis out. That's what I wanted. I did sacrifice 120 odd points for it, but got there 1 week later. And yeah, hopefully we'll ride these boys home for the rest of the season with 2 trades left. So Rossco and DR, you guys don't have any trades. Looking a bit barren
No.
over there. No plans. But you both have 2 trades left. So
Yeah.
hopefully, if Spillsy doesn't pull this, we're all going to have 2 trades left for the run home. If he does, Spillsy, you're going to go down to 0 and we'll have 2 trades left. But everyone's just got to play the game their own way. And we're going to finish up with the captain's corner, mate. Rossco, do you want to take us through? I think from looking at the matchups, there are 4 sort of prime matchups, isn't there, for this round?
Yes.
5, maybe
I
5.
think the Bulldogs versus Essendon, Freo versus the Eagles, Geelong versus North, and Collingwood versus Richmond are probably my main 4 that I've been looking to target across teams generally. But then we also have some good individual player matchups. Gawn versus Marshall is normally one where he scores well. Grundy versus Briggs, I anticipate he'll probably go quite well, even though it'll be a tough game for the Swans and Giants midfielders together. Gold Coast and Brisbane's one that I'm not really that keen to touch this week. I just don't really know who's going to come out on top. Like the Suns really need a win. Brisbane really need a win. It's just one of those tricky games. And then the showdown, Adelaide are rated pretty neutral in their last 5 games, but tricky across their last 10. But Butters, 117, 156, 124 in his last 3 against the Crows, and even better average at Adelaide Oval. No Rosie, no Horne-Francis. Does he just go absolutely massive, or do the Crows really cement their, perhaps top of the ladder credentials and just blow the power out of the water? A lot of thinking to do, but I like a lot of the matchups for sure.
Awesome. And so where are you leaning to start this round?
My VC hasn't moved from Bont all week, so it'll be staying there. And then I think if I had to throw a backup, I'd probably go with Dacos against Richmond. Although hopefully Bont against Essendon just gets the job done.
Spillsy?
Yeah, I'm probably leaning the same. It'll be a Bont VC regardless.
Yep.
I'm hoping Darcy can bounce back into some form. Probably not bold enough to go there with the VC, but there is, Dacos against Richmond is a great shout, but could even be an Andy B against West Coast.
Yeah, don't mind the Andy B.
They're not looking. I know Dacos against Richmond, who weren't too bad. They're pretty good against West Coast. Like, what's Andy Brayshaw going to do against West Coast? It's hard to. It's actually really hard to find out where their next win is going to come from. And they might end up on just 1 win for the whole season. So yeah, I do like capitalizing on West Coast, and I think you can't go too badly wrong with either one of the 3. But straight off the bat, they're the ones that I'd be backing in. That's for sure.
Yeah. And boys, I think we're pretty much in unison across the board. Would love to go one of the Geelong boys or one of the Freo boys, but Bont against Essendon into Dacos against Richmond. If Dacos is playing that sort of half designated kicker off the back line, half midfield, that is like the perfect role in terms of the best of both worlds. Love that. And then new recruit Maxi Gawn won't be putting the C on him most probably. But yeah, expecting a big game from him against Rowan Marshall in a game that probably doesn't have much on the line in terms of sort of finals aspirations, but in terms of both teams sort of coming off a loss, hungry for a win, it should be a good matchup then. Naz, we haven't even talked about him, one of the most informed players in the comp. Does he get some Ed Langdon attention perhaps? I don't think he necessarily will, but look, if you want to go there, go for it. He's just a gun to watch. Probably my favourite non-Carlton player at the moment. And yeah, I love most players across the league. So there we go. All right, boys, before we finish up, we're going to finish off with a footy anecdote as we try to get around to. So tonight on the Supercoach Swordplay podcast, your footy anecdote is, let's have a think. Okay. If you were playing footy and you had to pick a footy number to wear, what would it be and why? You can go Rossco first.
Yeah. For me, I would wear 5.
Okay.
It's just my lucky number.
Yep.
Just sort of since I was younger. No real other reason to it than that, really. Be wearing the 5.
Fair enough. Spillsy,
I'd almost like just lock in my current number. I've
3.
had it at a few clubs now, and yeah, it's always served me pretty well. But number 3,
Yeah.
I reckon I just lock that one in pretty safe. Feel pretty good, feel like a Timu Sheasel if that run around on game day. I wish, boys. But yeah, I know. I think 3 is a really good number. Either 3 or I really like 11 as well. I think 11 is just a really safe,
Nice
lucky number. It looks good. The closer those ones are together,
Yeah.
the more elite it looks. So yeah, that's a really sexy number on the back. I remember prime Jackson McRae in the number 11.
Prime
Just
Jackson McRae.
gorgeous boys. So yeah, no, we do love
fair
the
enough.
11 as well. So don't even get me started on numbers either, because I could I could go on.
I would go 2 numbers. I want to start my career in 25 for Brendan Favola. Absolute, I love Brendan Favola. He's my favorite player growing up. My first junior number playing for the St. Bernard's Old Collegians was 25. So, yeah, that's there. And then as I get sort of a bit more rapport amongst the team, they bring us down. They cut one of the numbers off, go down to 7. 7's the lucky number, so I absolutely love rocking out into 7. Plus, you boys have to hear me out here. The long sleeves. I'm a big long sleeves man. So if you get me the long sleeves 25 into the 7, those jerseys are going to fly off the rack. 100%.
I've got a controversial one here, boys. What do we reckon? Just on the long sleeves, are we full length sleeves or are we rolling them up?
Full length, mate.
Full length all the way. Rossco?
It doesn't bother me. I don't mind when Jordan Boy does it half down, half up.
Jordan Boy.
So
what about this?
It.
Talking about uniforms, socks up or socks down?
Down.
Up.
Down.
Socks down.
Oh.
Socks
How
down.
high up? Are you saying knee length high or like
just below?
high?
Just below.
Okay.
Boys, my footy socks are literally like the same as normal socks lengthwise. Like they're actually
they're good. They're good fit. But you either got to go all the way down or you got to go close to like just below the knee. You can't have it the half.
Also,
thing with
it's legitimate. Like, what would you rather? Because they're both pretty. Yeah. Oh,
what? You're not a fan of either. He doesn't want to wear anything.
No, I just like the normal. I just want normal socks, boys. I don't know.
Just wants normal.
Maybe full length. If I was, taking the piss completely. All right, I got one more. More, boys. Okay. Skins, right? But wearing skins with footy shorts.
What is that? Full length skins? Full length or like the short length?
I think full length. So you see, you go train, right? And you see full length skins and some old mates wearing footy shorts. What are our thoughts? Hate it. Boys, I hate it. It's one of my biggest pet peeves. I'm like, mate, just get rid of them. Just
Janath, I heard you say it.
No, that's what they're made for. I don't know.
One leg.
This isn't basketball, mate. You got to get rid of the skins, like stuff.
With one leg only.
One leg.
They actually look good in basketball though, with the long shorts. I can cop that, but the footy shorts, like what are you doing? Oh, this is. I don't know what this podcast has turned into, but
no. But look, there's some of our footy stories. So you guys have a lot to comment on, by the way. So we need 3 things from you. Okay. So the first one is. What is it? Who are you looking for to start in your 2026 team and why? The second thing is who's going to be the highest scoring Supercoach player this round? And if you get that right, we'll give you a gold or a platinum game day squad card of that player. And the third one is what is sort of a uniform or number sort of superstition or love that you have when it comes to footy uniforms. So put those 3 things down in the comments. We're done here, boys. 1 hour, 5 minutes. I reckon that's record time in terms of length of video in a negative direction. But it's been a good one, lads. We've talked through a fair bit, especially with Captain's Corner. This time of year, captains are so important to sort of differentiate from the pack. But you can still play it safe and get that higher ceiling guy like a Bont this week into a day cost. So, boys, any last words you want to add? Rossco, Spillsy?
Nah, good luck with your teams this weekend. It looks easy on paper, but there's always something which could go wrong.
Yeah.
Always the
I
way,
agree.
mate. And Spillsy?
No, I fully agree with Rossco. Just
Okay.
keep playing, keep backing yourself in, and the season's nearly done. So, yeah, if you're going shit like me, then, yeah, eyes on 2026. Be positive. Look forward to it. Yeah. Classes, was it form is temporary, class is permanent.
Class
So,
is permanent,
it's okay to
Spillsy.
have a bad season once in a while.
That's it, mate. And look, keep your eyes peeled. Rossco and I, we're just going to go ahead straight after this into the studio to record some Game Day Squad content. But we have the most exciting Game Day Squad news coming up in a couple of days as well. So stay tuned for that. We'll see you guys next week. Good luck for this week. And yeah, we'll see you next week with plenty more Supercoach content. Cheers.
See you guys.